Yep. I did on a previous occasion, as part of a live stream, go over his build and with his bridge officers. Oh, you could just barely see his eyes when you look at this angle. Anyway, so I'm going to do it again because the live stream was a bit incomplete, as it turned out. Yeah, I'm not sure this is actually a good thing, but it exists. And actually, though, the fact that it gives you a bonus set of uh, what are functionally a security team is actually pretty cool. Now, the real question is whether it sends a real security team to cooldown. You know what? Screw it. Let's find out. Nope, it doesn't. These are actually like Discovery era Klingons, though. I think those are House Mokai uniforms. Interesting. And I can bring in a set of regular ones. Cool. And switch out. It won't let me switch. Huh! So switching back actually makes the security from the Mokai thing go away. Interesting. Alright, enough screwing around. Yeah, I have that. Honestly, as EV suits go, it doesn't suck. It has better energy damage resistance than a lot of them. And it gives you a run speed bonus. That's cool. The energy damage resistance isn't as good as a real armor, obviously, but for an EV suit, it's not terrible. Anyway, so what else we got? Yukari kit. Why? Because honestly, this is actually kind of interesting. The protomatter emitter thing is a weird buff, but it actually does kind of useful. Especially when you combine it with something like this. Anyway, though. Honestly, though, this was more one of those things where I was tinkering with stuff, trying to see how it would work out. Not because I decided that this is the best possible thing for this build. Yet. It's easily replaceable. Anyways, so I decided to go with Deadly Intent because IMOD has a stacking buff that you only stack when you fire the secondary. So, using Deadly Intent to fire the secondary more often seemed like a no-brainer. Why 4 does not have an epic mod? Good question. Oh, hey, it is re-engineerable. It still only has 4 mods, though. So many questions, so few answers. Anyway, though, yeah. Same with this. Why does this not have an epic mod? And of course, here's the vinculum. Motivation. One of my all-time favorite tactical kit modules that comes out of a lockbox. Just the great buff ability. Especially since it's all damage and not weapon damage, it boosts your kit damage too. Cryogenic modulation, winter event thingy. Honestly, it's not amazingly good. However, as you will note when you see me use this against the Borg in the Bozeman Patrol, the Borg can actually adapt to this now. Yeah, they will separately adapt to your weapon damage and the cryogenic modulation. That's fun. That, of course, means you have especially with this weapon, because this has Polaron and Tetrion automatically, and a second, like, tray extension ability with a third attack that's a disruptor one. With this setup, you can actually stack 4 different adaptation procs at once. That is gnarly stuff. Yeah. So, but it actually does pretty good damage. See, because this is the whole thing. Is like it increases your weapon damage by 15% and gives you run speed buffs. Of course, you use this but first. That buffs everything even more. Like here, yeah, it definitely scales. It scales somewhat gently though. Also, the buff on this lasts an insanely long time. Cryotonic modulation is something that you can have what is effectively 100% uptime, especially if you're using MUDs, because the buff scales in duration with your kit performance. Yeah, that's one thing about this that you don't notice immediately, and then after you tinker with it for a while, you start wondering about. Let's see what. Yeah, also it's like it gives you a cooldown that's actually shorter than the duration that the buff lasts. So yeah, you can just like walk around looking like Mr. Freeze for the entire thing. Like I said, there are reasons why I like that one. I don't use it on all of my builds, but it, as a winter event kit module, it's practically free. So might as well use it if it fits the build. Anyway, chain conduit capacitor is another one I use on this one. Eh, it's a good damaging thing. I have actually used a variety of wrist rockets and other similar things like uh, graviton spike. I have used graviton spike, crawler mines, and there's a bunch of things that I tinkered with. Anyway, but let's look at the duty officers. Active ground. This is a tactical officer, so giving yourself things to buff your security team is just a no-brainer. Medic, bring in support when you use a hypo, sure. Honestly, I would get quite a lot of benefit out of those assault squad officers that give you bonus stacking, either crit chance or crit severity when firing weapons, because this is a heavily weapons-based build. I could replace Pro with that, because I am actually using Rally Cry in this build though, so I do get some benefit out of Pro. The fact that her ability only has a 6% chance to trigger is kind of annoying, because I don't believe it rolls separately per teammate. I believe it just rolls once when you activate the ability, and either gives this to your entire team or doesn't do anything. Which, solely based on the fact that it's only a 6% chance to work, that is actually a very good reason not to use her. Okay, so you know what? Yeah, I just talked myself into changing it. Hey, yeah, Sterling Renard. Use him instead. Oh wait, he's the melee one. Oh, actually, you know what? It might be that I just don't have the ranged weapon damage one on this character. Security team, security team, security team, turrets. Grenades, turrets. Yeah, guess I don't have that one on this character. That would explain why I didn't do that. Alrighty then. Anyway, though, so bridge officers can't use security team, but they can use devices to heal. I just realized I don't have a Pavan healing crystal on my captain, and that Pavan healing crystal with that medic support duty officer is something quite good. However, bridge officers using hypos will actually trigger it. Hey, wait, I do have the pop and healing crystal. I give it to a bridge officer, though. Okay. Why? Actually, you know what? No. You have hypos. You don't have this. Anyway. So. Oh yeah, for my ground on this character. I'm actually using Intel and Pilot. Pilot obviously doesn't have ground component at all. Intel, I actually have the tree completely maxed out. So I get all of the Intel bonuses for ground. Traits, yeah, nothing particularly special here. Wait, I have situational awareness. I must have slotted that a long time ago and forgot about it. Hey, lack of awareness or something, right? Anyways, you don't go and look. I honestly don't have that many things I can put in here. Oh well. Anyway, yeah. Ground rep. Mostly things to run faster or to heal. Oh yeah. Extra bonus damage too. I'm genuinely wondering if this is actually all melee damage in bonus all energy weapon damage, bonus all melee damage. Whatever. Anyways, moving on to the bridge officers. Rulu, Andrea, Volmel, and Dom. Who are the top four? Andrea is one of the androids you get at the K13. K13, K7, I forget. Whichever fleet that is. No, we're not doing that. Anyway, I gave her the Delta set, mostly because I have it. This is actually one of my teams that's set up to do the whole triple thing. So, engineer, my captain's a tactical, so I have a science officer to do the third. Yeah, her skills. I often make jokes about how this kind of setup is something I use for most of my engineer bridge officers. Some variation of this. Why? It just works that good. I mean, that's as simple as the way I could put it. Paradox Bomb 3. Yeah, doing that as a medical generator might be a good idea. Yeah, it's good. I'll switch to Paradox Bomb now. Might change back later. I don't remember why I had a medical generator. Anyways, Temku. This is a Delta Rising Operations Pack bridge officer. This is one of those really, really weird bridge officers that comes with Intel powers and not regular powers. So if she has any regular skills, it's because I trained them manually. Oh, also I set her up as a melee bridge officer and gave her the full discovery set. Why? Because it's amusing. Skills. Medical tricorder, because why not? Sonic suppression field. While bridge officers suck at the whole flanking thing, this is actually something that a bridge officer can get some benefit out of. Especially when you have it set up as a melee build. Photonic decoy is just hilarious because of the fact that bridge officers will summon them as soon as they enter combat. The photonic decoy distracts the enemies so that your bridge officers can punch the enemy without actually getting attacked. And tripwire drone, it does a nice amount of damage and it knocks down the enemies that it hits. Good stuff. Traits. Oh yeah, she has a space trait. Her ground traits are actually pretty good. Although this is a ranged weapon trait, so she's not actually using that. Anyway, Rulu is currently using the Iconian Resistance thing. Why did I buy the Iconian Resistance thing? Because it comes with a cool costume. This is the one that gives you a costume that looks like you're wearing tinfoil. Like an entire bodysuit that looks like you're wearing tinfoil. Didn't actually use it for much of it yet, but I just decided I wanted to. Oh yeah, also, she's a science officer with an item trophy. Skills. She's actually mostly set up as a medical officer, although she does have visor overlay, which is a nice buff ability. And yeah, she's currently operating as a miracle worker. I don't actually remember why I gave her miracle worker. I think it was an old ship build. It just needed a miracle worker, a science officer. Anyway, though, tricorder scan, not great, but I only use this if for some reason I want to use electrical damage in a bridge officer build. It's just not that good. Alrighty then. Well, next up, Full Mill. Full Mill is someone I set up as an elite bridge officer. So she has an old Xindi kit frame, which I could probably swap out for something else. If I remember right, I actually just used the Xindi frame because I happen to have it laying around. Oh, the other option is a Herald kit, which she's not using a disruptor weapon, so the Herald kit being a disruptor thing wouldn't actually be that good. And she is using the Terran Task Force set. Yeah. On this guy, all 4 of his bridge officers on ground are using a rep set. It works. And this particular set is designed to be tough, which, hey, you know, bridge officers, when they don't have to make complicated decisions to use the gear, do a reasonably good job at it. They suck at using anything that involves flanking, though, but hey, whatever. Oh yeah, also, range build. I mean, her basic gimmick is mostly just spamming turrets anyways, so the fact that she's using a ranged build just makes sense. Melee build, and to a certain extent does healing stuff, and a ranged build who also does healing stuff. And this is a melee tactical build who battle strategies, lunge, tactical EMP bombardment, and ambush. Is it guaranteed to work right? You know, bridge officers will find ways to screw things up, but you know, they at least sometimes do it right. The number one way you'll see her screw things up, though, is either use lunge or tactical EMP bombardment, then use ambush. Like I said, bridge officers will find ways to screw it up. Traits. This is one of the diplomacy/marauding bridge officers. So she actually has the standard set of traits for an Andorian because she's genuinely an Andorian, not an alien and made to look like an Andorian. Again, marauding bridge officer, fun stuff. I gave her Zhat Vash Venom because it was cheap on the exchange and is actually something that helps with a melee build, so why not? Yeah. Other than that, that's pretty much it. Not a huge deep logic to this particular setup. It's just a handful of things that are designed to be simple and yet effective. Because in order to get a bridge officer to execute a strategy properly, it needs to be a simple strategy.